John Jungkook is a successful and most dangerous mafia at this young age. He owns a number of clubs, shopping malls, casinos, hotels, and a few clothing brands. Jungkook is short-tempered and impulsive, which makes people think 1,000 times before they speak in front of him. Because once Jungkook is annoyed, people suffer really bad. Wyan's point of view. It is Saturday night as you are sleeping peacefully in your hotel room until your phone buzzed. It showed Hoseok's ID. Hello, you answered. Hey, I'm Jack. You don't know me, but I'm standing in front of the club and your friend is quite drunk, also wasted right now. Can you take him from here? He's a mess of vomit. A man's voice asked you for help. Okay, I'm on my way. Just wait for 10 minutes. After, in more than 15 minutes, you were in front of the club, but you couldn't find Hoseok outside. Getting inside, you were welcomed by very loud music. Sweaty people were almost everywhere, grinding their bodies together. It's not like you hate the clubs or parties. It's just you aren't a party person, that's it. Where is this troublemaker? You asked yourself. Your phone buzzed. Hey Wyan, Hoseok is drunk and knocked out right now. I'm taking him home. It was Jiwoo's voice. You felt relieved. Jiwoo is Hoseok's sister. You sighed in relief and started walking towards exit. You were booking a cab on your phone. Just then, a hand dropped your back so hard, turned you around, and your head hit a hard chest. Jungkook's point of view. Jimin suggested that we should go out and hit on some girls and enjoy the night. Hey Jungkook, look at that weirdo. Who comes to a club like that? Jimin said. My eyes diverted to the girl Jimin was referring. I saw a girl with black trousers and pink hoodie. She looked beautiful even when she was not wearing makeup. But then, while talking on her phone, her lower lip got free from that constant biting torture, and looking at her, I had such a turn on. I knew at that moment that I want this girl with the same expression on my bed. My long legs were an advantage and took long steps towards her and stood right behind her. I grabbed her back and turned her around. She was so surprised that her small head crashed on my chest. I chuckled at her actions and kept her there. My thing was throbbing on her stomach. I wanted her to feel how bad I am. She looked at me, her eyes told everything. Fear, shock, surprise, and more fear. Well, I loved that look. I liked how her eyes expressed every emotion. Hey, darling, I smirked while grinding my body on hers. She backed up and slapped me on my cheek, and with another hand, she grabs my neck, digging her nails in my skin. What the? I growled. She started running towards exit. I was furious by now. I followed her outside, but she was nowhere to be seen. Where is that hoodie girl? I asked the bouncer at front door. Sir, she took a cab. Her name is Wyan, sir. I checked her ID when she entered the club. The bouncer stuttered. You woke up and look at the time. It's 7 a.m. In 20 minutes, you came out of shower wearing your white bathrobe. Good morning, Wyan. I made you breakfast. I know you won't bother making yourself breakfast. Eat it before it gets cold. Ajuma yelled from kitchen. Okay, Ajuma, I'll eat. Thank you. Please close the door on your way out and don't forget your phone because I'll be leaving in 5 minutes. You replied from bedroom. Yes, I took my phone, don't worry. You heard her saying, and after that you heard Ajuma getting out and closing the door behind. You are applying sunscreen when some of it got into your eye. Oh God, you're definitely gonna be late. It was when you heard a knock on the door again. You knew that Ajuma forgot her phone again. You get to the door while rubbing your eye. You opened the door and didn't wait for her to come in, and you ran to your bedroom. You opened the knot of your robe and was about to take it off when your bedroom door creaked open. You turned around and found a tall man standing in front of you. Your eyes got wide and your jaw dropped to floor. Are you dreaming, or is this the same man you met in the club? You found your hands quickly grabbing the side of the rope and tightening them around your body. Hello again, Sugar Plum, you heard that man say. A lot of questions are running in your mind. How? And Ajuma? You yelled her name. Ajuma? Hoping that she is still in your house. No, there's no one here. It was me for whom you opened the door, kitten. Relax, just relax. He was telling you to relax when his eyes were all roaming over your body. You were panicking. Get out of my place! You were stuttering and your legs were shaking uncontrollably. His eyes were getting dark as he stepped forward. A lot of scenarios were going through your mind. Are you going to be dead today? Jungkook's point of view. Why are you smiling like an idiot? Jimin asked. Nothing important, Hyung, Jungkook replied. Oh really, Jungkook? Do I look like a kid? Now spill out whatever you're hiding before I chop off your thingy. And what on earth that girl stole from a dangerous mafia like you? Jimin scoffed. Okay, chill man. Actually, I met her last night in my club and I wanted her to do it with her. But she slapped me and ran away before I could caught her. Jungkook growled. Whoa, she got guts if she slapped you. And now she's gonna pay back for her actions. Jungkook smirked back. What are you going to do with that little innocent girl, Cookie? I'm gonna take her in every way. She'll be screaming my name top of her lungs. She thought she'll escape from me, but she doesn't. I know what's going to happen with her. And I like it this way. So back to the point. This file says that her fiancé died a week before their wedding. Good for me, Hyung. I bet she's experienced in giving things. Second thing, she never dated anyone since her fiancé died, which is now 3 years. So it's clear for me. And the most interesting thing is, she's infertile. Therefore, there's no need of using protection. Jungkook kept laughing like a maniac. Sometimes I wonder how bad of a person you are. Jimin scoffed. Jungkook reached your house, standing outside and pressing the doorbell. Jungkook waited for 1 minute before door opened. You were in front of him, but you didn't see him and ran to your room. How irresponsible! It could have been a thief or a murderer, Jungkook mumbled. You smelled like fresh lilies. Seeing your freshly showered body, Jungkook's body tightened. He walked into your room, but as he was going to enter, he saw you removing your robe. But you felt someone's presence and you turned around, and seeing a man in front of you, you panicked. You clenched your robe tightly to your body, but before you could do that, Jungkook had a peek of your firm melons. Such a fine piece of art. Jungkook cursed, but you didn't hear him. He wanted to see them. No point in hiding them. They'll be mine to tease and play with in a short time, Jungkook thought. Hello again, Sugar Plum. Jungkook licked his lips. Get out of here, you said without shaking. But instead his eyes got darker and he looked at you with a raised eyebrow. We need to talk, Sugar Plum, he said. But I don't want to talk. At this moment, your legs were not shaking, but you were still feeling weak in his dominant form. It's fine. We can directly go to bed and have some fun, he seductively said, his eyes full of, What are you talking about? You are shocked. See, that's why we need to talk, Sugar Plum, he continued. I want to do you and you can name the amount. Whatever amount you want is fine with me, he said, his eyes roaming all over your body. Tears, which you were trying to fight, starts rolling down from your eyes. The way he talked to you, it made you feel like a useless lady. Never in your life someone talked to you this way. By now, you started crying loudly. I will never do something like this. Please leave me alone, you sobbed. I wanted you to get some money from this deal, but it looks like you're refusing to choose the easiest way. His eye is not leaving your body, and you clench the side of your robe. Wait, did he say the easiest way? Are there more ways? What are the other ways? You nervously asked him. You have a family. I can kill them. Or I can just kidnap you and ground you till you give in. Don't worry, Sugar Plum. I have plenty of options to choose from, he smirked. Now you're panicking again. How the hell he knows your address and your family? But it's illegal. It's against the law. You attempted to save yourself from the devil himself. Now get out of my house before I file a case against you, mister. You replied with determination in your words. Do you know me? He said while smirking. No, you replied irritated. My word is law, Sugar Plum, and you shouldn't be saying this if you knew me. And about our deal, I'm giving you whole 24 hours to think and say yes, because I'm such a gentleman. He continued in deep voice, which you found scary. Ryan's point of view. It's been 2 hours since that incident. You're scared, so scared that you're thinking he will come out of nowhere. You packed your stuff, booked a room in a famous high-class hotel, took your laptop, phone along with a few clothes. It's been exactly 3 years that you're going out of your house just for hanging out. There was not a single moment when you didn't miss your fiancé, the man you loved with all your heart, and you accepted him with all his flaws. You hated seeing people pitying you for your situation, but that's how it was. You get to your room, you're super tired. You take off your heels, remove your dress, and let it fall on the floor. You didn't turn on light, rather you walked to windows and closed the remaining curtains to prevent light coming into your room. Satisfied with darkness, you hopped in your bed. When you turned around, that's when you saw a man's reflection in the mirror. You tried to switch on the side lamp in a hurry, but you ended up throwing it on the floor. Good plan though, Ryan. Wait, no, it's Sugar Plum now. You knew the instant that it's him. He sounds angry. You can imagine his angry face. You wanted to run, but your legs were shaking uncontrollably. You turned to reach landline, but he is fast to grab your both hands above your head. You were under him helpless. He had inhuman strength, so trapping your whole body and tackling your move was nothing for him. You know what you did, Sugar Plum? I gave you time to make your mind, not to run from me. Now your time is up, because you cheated first, Ryan. His lips were so close to that they would touch your lips. So you turned your head to the side. You were already undressed. He was dressed in shirt and pants. He used his whole body weight to pin your body to the bed. You tried to wriggle out once, twice, thrice. He groaned and let out a chuckle. You knew now what was happening. Please let me go. I swear I won't tell anyone. You tried your best to fight him, but you're not his match. Don't worry, Sugar Plum. Nothing will happen without your consent. So I'm giving you 1 whole minute to relax and give in. He smirked. I strangled her with one hand and moved my other hand towards her. I was beyond frustrated. I made my grip on her neck even tighter. Ryan cried in pain. She was crying loudly. You are done, yet you are struggling and trying to fight? I said with pure anger. Give up and submit to me. I yelled and gritted my teeth. I will never agree this. It's sinful, Ryan cried out. Give up. You felt like your dignity crashed into millions of pieces. No, I can't. I won't give up. You screamed on top of your lungs. I will never agree to something sinful like this. How can I just give up my dignity for a stranger who is nothing but a perverted man and a beast? You give up, because not in my life I'm gonna do something as shameful as this with you. You narrowed your eyes. You tried to push him by turning around, putting your hand on his chest and shoulders, but all you can feel is muscles. That is why you can't beat him with the little strength of yours. Please stop, I don't want this, you pleaded to him. Why? Because it's sinful or is it shameful? You felt the cool air hitting your body as you opened your eyes, finding him not on top of you. Oh, look at this. He pointed at the iPad placing on the coffee table. It's a live video of your dear Ajuma begging my mens to let her go. It's such a pity she may not live long. After all, her life and death is in your hands, Sugar Plum, he remarked. But you can save her. If you agree to be my wife, maybe then I'll let her go. Though I might get bored with you in just a few days. But until then, you're my lawfully wedded wife. You are free to go when I get bored with you. It's a promise. You looked directly at him. You never saw this coming. Why should you agree to such a thing? I have a fiancé, you said sternly. It came out of your mouth so suddenly without thinking. Yeah, a dead one. He watched you amusingly. It's totally nonsense. I'm not going to have a husband like you. Look, I'm giving you 1 whole minute to think. It's up to you whether that old woman lives or not. 40 seconds, he said, and you froze. 20 seconds. This time, he said it with amusement, as if he had to decide what to do next. Okay, I agree. You found yourself agreeing to his conditions. But let her go. You pleaded to him. He nodded in response. I'll get the papers ready for you to sign. Tomorrow, you'll become my wife, Sugar Plum. Have a good night, wife, he said with amusement. Wedding was done and you were sitting in his room for so-called first night. Are you really married now to the demon himself? Room's door opened, presenting the beast to you. He stood there, showing his victorious smile. He walked past you and sat on the large king-size bed. Come here, Sugar Plum. He patted his thigh. You shivered in pure fear. Does he want you to sit on his lap? Show me how you treat your husband. I had such a long day. Come here, make me feel good. Arrogance was filled in his voice. You were angry by his actions. I'm not your wife. I have never agreed to any of this. A sarcastic smile spread on his face. I was wondering about married life. But now one thing is for sure, that I hate when my wife talks back. I'm not your wife. That's why I can't do that. Fantastic. Now you have gained yourself a punishment for your first night, he sarcastically said. In an instant, he was standing in front of you. He grabbed you by your arm roughly, tilting your head. You winced in pain when he took your lips in his mouth. He was sucking the air out of you. He was dominating you. Now tell me, Sugar Plum, who am I to you? He was smirking. Without saying anything, you tried to run, but you could only take 2 steps when he caught you by your waist. He put you roughly on the bed. In a second, he was on top of you. Tell me. You never do this to anyone, you yelled. You wanted him to come back to his senses. Look, Sugar Plum, you're my wife now, and there is no such a thing as forcing on your wife. Who am I to you? Tell me, or else you'll get the punishment. He wanted you to accept him as your husband. He was getting impatient. Still, you didn't say anything. He tore your wedding dress completely out of anger. Your chest was exposed to him. That's when he tore your other dress too. Oh, honey, I will stop immediately. Just tell me who I am, he said in soothing voice. No one. You're no one to me, you yelled in anger. You brought this on yourself. He gritted his teeth. While smirking, he bit on your right melon. That bite tore you from inside out. It was not any love bite. It was a bite for denying him. A loud cry came out of your mouth. The whole mansion could hear your loud cries, but no one came to your rescue. Helplessly, you uttered the words he was eager to hear. You're my husband, You looked at him. His eyes held a bit of sympathy, but the moment you looked in his eyes, they turned cold, filled with satisfaction. You started crying because no one was going to save you from him. Stop! Please don't hurt me. Your eyes were pleading him to have mercy. Oh, Sugar Plum, what kind of husband do you think I am? I won't hurt you ever. He gently wiped away the tears falling from your eyes. She looked confused for a moment. She looked down, nodding slowly. Is she embarrassed to meet my gaze? All emotions were on display. Is it pain or is it fear? Fear. Yes, fear, that is it. I can't find zipper. Before she could complete her sentence, I grabbed her swiftly in one move. My hand was traveling towards her zipper and I tore the dress in one go. Her whole body got exposed to air. I looked at her with licking my lip. The view was absolutely stunning. Are you doing someone else? Why are you shaved? I whispered in her ear. This sentence made her open her eyes instantly. She stared at me blankly. I just keep myself clean. It's a habit. She got shy and placed her both hands on her face, refusing to look at me. This made me want to go wild. I chuckled. I know you're a good person, but please stop, okay? I know you have married me, but I'm not ready for this. You spoke your mind. Let go of your false disguise. Stop pretending to be ruthless and mean. As you spoke, he looked shocked. I'm not pretending to be ruthless, but I am ruthless, and there is nothing as disguise. Stop lying. Your eyes told me the truth, and eyes can't lie. You tried to wiggle. He was silent for a few moments, but then again he smirked like a maniac. That's when you knew he is not going to listen. You sighed. Closing your eyes, you said to him, "You left me with no choice." You said you took your wedding necklace, which was sharp like a knife at one end, and decided to commit. With all your strength, you cut your neck. But wait, why are you still alive? Shouldn't you feel pain? You opened your eyes only to find his hand preventing you from doing so. You looked at his hand. It was bleeding. Strangely, him looking in your eyes. You pushed him. As he landed aside, you got up hurriedly. He's hurt because of me? You panicked. It was so late in the night, all the maids were nowhere to find. Just as you find the medicine to apply on his wound, a sudden thought flashed in your mind. Let it be, Ryan. Anyway, he's not a good human. He brought you so much pain, so much tears. It doesn't matter whether he is hurt or not. He deserved it. He's a monster. So let's not treat him with humanity, okay? But the picture of him preventing you from doing your thought popped in your mind. Sighing, you took the medicine and slowly made your way back to the room. You cautiously opened the door, scanning the room. You flinched and looked at him. He was lying on the bed silently, but your full focus was on his hand. Blood was oozing out, but he didn't care. Can't wait to see me dead? He spoke with eyes still shut. A brief silence followed a few moments. You walked to the bed. Your eyes couldn't leave him. You felt like some worthless piece of meat as a tear rolled out of your eyes. The tears he didn't expect. He even didn't expect you coming back. Your loud whimper made him open his eyes and look at you. He looked confused. You sat down, mustering your courage, taking his hand to apply medicine. He was silent. His hand reached to wipe your tears, but you slapped his hand away. God knows how much courage you had to slap his hand away. He smiled. A smile spread on his face, knowing that there was someone who would cry when he is hurt. You stood up to put medicine on the nightstand, but he pulled your hand, which was applying ointment on him. He let you fall on the bed. He held you by your waist. Don't move around, or we can continue our consummation of marriage. He warned you. Close your eyes, he ordered, while his face buried in your neck as his hair tickling your skin. It was such a long day for you. You were so tired, and it didn't take long for sleep to come over to you. Your breathing became normal, and he knew that you slept already. She seems bolder than she looks, he thought. That's how your first night passed. The sun rose up in the sky, waking up the whole city. He got up, removing the blanket. A devilish smile appeared on his face when he saw marks of him on your wrist. Your soft body felt amazing against his body. He covered you with blanket again when you mumbled something in your sleep. Junie? He didn't understand what it means. I miss you, Junie. He backed up from bed right away. He knew you were calling for your fiancé. The devil was excited when he first woke up, but now what was he feeling? Was he feeling getting angry for going easy on you yesterday, or not for crushing you under the harsh, ruthless true self? But then it occurred to him that his wife was just a fun thing he brought to fulfill his needs. From the first time he saw you, and all of a sudden his hopes vanished. Yes, you are just here to fulfill and to satisfy his needs. Vian's point of view. The first thing I saw when I woke up was Jungkook coming out just in loose grey sweatpants with no shirt after shower. He's sizzling hot. Droplets of water from his wet hair were dropping on his chiseled chest, making him look extremely sexy. His sweats were hanging loose on his waist. I didn't know I was staring until he cleared his throat with smirk on his face. Like what you see, it's all yours. We need to set some rules, he started. Rules for what? I questioned with brows furrowed. Rules for you, obviously. You're going to stay here from now on. We need to set some rules so you will behave yourself. He must be a fool if he thought I'll follow them and most importantly stay with him. You stay here like a good girl, okay? Or I'll have to punish you, Angel. He tried to kiss me, but I turned my face. But he just held my neck, making me face him and pressed his lips on mine. I'll be back. He didn't lock the door. Did he forgot or leave it open purposely? Whatever it is, I need to get out of here. It's my life and I'm not going to follow anyone's rules. Keeping it in mind, I left the room. The house feels more bigger when you're all alone. I got confused in hallways. Maybe luck was on my side for first time. Happily running towards main door, I opened it only to face someone. Vian, what are you doing here? I can hear anger in his voice. He was looking scary. Didn't I tell you to stay in your room? He nearly growled this time. My legs were shaking with fear. I tried to say something, but words were stuck. I just wanted some water. He knew I was lying. I can clearly see anger, fury, rage in his eyes, but he kept quiet. In room now, or it won't be good for you. I was restless, pacing back and forth in room. My mind was just filled with his thoughts. How furious he looked when he saw me. I don't know how he is gonna behave. What will he do? But I just need to stay strong and face it. I heard door clicked and my heartbeats were erratic. He entered the room and locked the door. He didn't turn around for a few minutes and kept leaning against the door. I was standing at corner of the room trying to keep as much as distance as possible. Sighing, he turned around and took off his shirt and started to walk towards me. You really don't take me seriously, do you? I think you still don't know who I am. Or what can I do, The way his tone was calm but threatening was really scary. I clearly told you that stay in your room or it won't be good for you, didn't I? But you don't listen, and bad girls deserve punishment. He spoke with hard tone. I stood there watching him with eyes wide and jaw dropped. No, I tried to answer strongly but failed. My voice came out like plead. I gave you a choice, but you don't want to listen. Let's do it the hard way then. Mine. Saying that, he dipped his face in my neck. I felt him sniffing me. Moving my hand behind my back, I felt him tying something. Then I heard clicked. He handcuffed me. What are you doing? Open this! I yelled at him. Shh! Saying, he tore my shirt apart, leaving me only in my bat. Tears started to fall. I wanted to stay strong, fight him, but I was not able to hold back. Holding me from waist tightly, he made me sit on the bed. If you move, trust me, I'll make you regret being born. He threatened me and left. He came again, but this time with a tattoo gun in his hold. I understood how this was going to end. What he meant by to make sure I know I'm his. No, he can't do this. Jungkook, please, what are you doing? I'm sorry, I won't make any mistakes again. I pleaded again. I always had fear of needles. It scares me always. That's why it was much more harder for me to fight back. Jungkook, please don't do this. I tried last time looking at him with teary eyes. Sugar Plum, it's okay. It won't hurt. It will just feel like a pinch. He replied with a smile on his face and pulled my neck closer. Jungkook, I have fear of needles. Please, I'm sorry, I won't do it again. He ignored me and pressed the tattoo gun on my neck. I screamed, but he didn't even flinch or budge and continued doing his work. I was sweating furiously. My vision was getting blurred. I was out of energy. My eyes were burning due to all the crying, but he kept doing his work. After what felt like eternity, he stopped and released me. I immediately fell back on the bed. He hovered over me, his hands on either side of my head, caging me under him. You're looking more beautiful now that you have my name imprinted on you, he said. His breath was fanning my face, kissing my neck so delicately. He came closer to my lips, but I didn't let him do it. I hate you, I replied, looking straight in his eyes. He said nothing. We kept staring at each other without mumbling any word. I really sometimes want to know what goes inside this guy's head. He is good at hiding his emotions and not expressing them. I tried to squirm under him to make him stop, but that just enraged him more. Saying this, he bit me hard on my just made burning tattoo, making me let out hurtful scream. I had no energy left. I stopped fighting, and the last thing I saw was him smiling at me, stroking my head, and I passed out.